Hello and good afternoon. Salam keluarga Malaysia. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Lee and you're watching Updates at Noon. Our headlines this afternoon. MOH to step up enforcement at Ramadan bazaars. The principles of good governance to become sole reference for GLICs. The Food Safety and Quality Division of the Ministry of Health, or MOH, has been instructed to step up its enforcement at Ramadan bazaars, especially at locations that receive complaints about food contamination. Now, Health Minister Kari Jamaluddin said enforcement would also enable immediate action to be taken on any complaints related to food contamination. Encourage consumers to lodge a complaint to the local authority if there is food contamination. Khairi was commenting on contaminated food bought by consumers in a Ramadan bazaar that went viral on Thursday.
Tapi saya juga minta orang ramai supaya sentiasa berwaspada dengan makanan yang dijual di bazar Ramadan. Kalau tak yakin, mereka boleh tengok bau dan rasa sebelum mereka makan. Itu adalah satu langkah untuk memastikan bahawa makanan itu tidaklah tercemar.
He said this when met after the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between First Ambulance Services Syndrome Berhad and YTL Communications Berhad to improve emergency services in the health sector through YES 5G Smart Ambulance Service. Tan Sri Anwar has described UMNO Supreme Council's empty decision to nominate Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob as the Prime Minister in the 15th General Election, or G15, as an advantage to the party. The Keteria UMNO Division Chief said the decision was seen as able to gather support not only among UMNO members but also the people and other political parties. He also described the decision as a strategic and appropriate move that would enable UMNO to increase its strength in facing GE15.
Perdana Menteri boleh fokus kepada kerja-kerja ataupun tanggungjawab yang ada sekarang dan perkara itu boleh dinilai oleh rakyat, dan apabila Perdana Menteri perform, maka dia memberi advantage kepada UMNO dalam pilihan raya akan datang.
He said this when met by reporters at a breaking of fast event at Kerana Resort in Seremban yesterday. The minister also stressed that UMNO must always take into account the sentiments and fulfill the aspirations of the people. Police arrested 13 individuals in 13 raids on suspicion of being involved in smuggling of contraband, fireworks and Bitcoin mining around the Klang Valley. The arrests were made under OP contraband that began on the 5th of April with the seizures worth almost 10.1 million ringgit. Bukit Aman Department of Internal Security and Public Order Director Datuk Sri Hazani Ghazali said in a 10-day operation, 13 arrests were made involving 11 local men and 2 foreigners aged between 20 and 50 by the Special Intelligence and Investigation Branch and the Special Operations Force. In the same operation, police also managed to confiscate over 18,000 cartons of contraband cigarettes from various types that were estimated to worth more than 7 million ringgit, as well as 264 boxes of firecrackers estimated to be worth 800,000 ringgit. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Hazani said the police, together with Tenaga Nasional Berhad (TNB), launched an operation to curb theft and illegal electrical connections for Bitcoin mining activities. In the operation, 9 premises were raided and police seized 515 units of Bitcoin machines estimated to be worth more than 1.5 million ringgit and detained 7 local men along with 2 foreign men. The special operation managed to curb losses amounting to 190,000 ringgit per month to TNB. In a separate development, Datuk Sri Hazani said from January to 15th of April this year, the police have launched 35 raids and arrested 51 individuals with total value of seizures amounted to 38 million ringgit. The police have solved 11 lorry theft cases with estimated losses worth 605,000 ringgit when they arrested 10 members of the Esvaran gang in Negeri Sembilan and Johor in an operation from the 5th to the 10th of April. Now, all the local men aged between 28 and 62 were arrested through an operation dubbed as Op Lejang Lorry. Selangor Police Chief Dato' Arjunaidi Muhammad said the syndicate was masterminded by a 47-year-old local man who planned and hired 3 other individuals to steal lorries around Selangor before transporting them to a workshop in Batu Pahat, Johor for dismantling.
Dan jumlah rampasan keseluruhan sebuah motor lori yang masih lagi dalam keadaan belum dileraikan, 20 motor lori yang keadaannya tidak lagi sempurna, 10 bongkah enjin, yang enjin blok, yang enjin apa istilah enjin, enjin yang tidak sempurna dan mana enjin, nombor enjin dan nombor chassis telah diganggu, dan pelbagai lagi komponen motor lori yang kita rampas. Kes disiasat di bawah Seksyen 379A Kanun Kesesahan, dan kita mengenal pasti sebanyak 7 kes curi motor lori di sekitar Selangor. Dan sindiket ini telah bagi aktif sejak tahun 2021, tahun lepas.
He added 4 of the 10 suspects arrested have previous criminal and drug-related records, and the police are still tracking down 2 more suspects in the case, namely a man known as Siva Kumar, who acted as a middleman, and a Bangladeshi national known as Atakur. The COVID-19 cases dipped below the 10,000 Health Ministry's COVID Now portal. 9,648 of the new COVID-19 infections were local transmissions, while 25 were imported cases. Now, this brings the total number of COVID-19 infections in the country to over 4.372 million cases since the start of the pandemic. A total of 16 deaths were recorded on Friday, with 5 classified as brought-in dead. This brings cumulative number of deaths to 35,397. Perak recorded the most deaths with 5. This was followed by Selangor 2, Pahang 2, Pulau Pinang 2, Johor 1, Perlis 1, Sabah 1, Sarawak 1 and Kuala Lumpur 1. There were no deaths in Kedah, Kelantan, Melaka, Negeri Sembilan, Terengganu, Labuan and Putrajaya. The number of active cases, meanwhile, dropped by 4,610 to 113,175. Of the total, 357 are in quarantine centres, while 2,281 are hospitalised. Another 152 are in intensive care units, with 87 requiring ventilation assistance. There were also 14,267 recoveries recorded. Up next, minimum wage policy stimulates country's economy. Now, the principles of good governance for government-linked investment companies, or PGG, will be the sole reference for the governance baseline and sustainability practices of all government-linked investment companies, or GLICs. Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz said PGG was based on 3 main principles, namely leadership and board effectiveness, ensuring an optimal, qualified and credible board composition, and supporting the effective handling of investments.
Bagi memastikan GLIC dikemudi dengan baik, PGG memberi penekanan terhadap peranan dan tanggungjawab lembaga pengarah. Semua pengarah harus memimpin melalui teladan berdasarkan prinsip serta kewajipan dalam ketelitian, ketulusan dan kesetiaan. Proses lantikan dan kelayakan seseorang pengarah juga diberikan penekanan penting. Hanya individu yang berkelayakan dan mempunyai pengalaman yang luas serta berintegriti akan diberi mandat sebagai ahli lembaga pengarah GLIC.
He said this during the launch of the Principles of Good Governance for Government-Linked Investment Companies, or PGG for GLICs in Putrajaya yesterday. The minister said PGG also recommended the establishment of a governance structure for the oversight of environmental, social and governance, or ESG, elements in future investment strategies. He added numerous data have shown that companies focusing on ESG issues manage to reduce costs, increase employee productivity, reduce various risks, and create more business opportunities. The government's initiative of providing devices to the B40 group students in Institutes of Higher Learning, or IPTs, through the Keluarga Malaysia Student Device Program should not be debated or politicized. According to Minister of Communications and Multimedia Tan Sri Anwar Musa, the effort was formulated to provide IPT students with a quality and continuous learning tools. He added an explanation on the program will be given from time to time to avoid any confusion.
Peranti siswa adalah mewujudkan peranti di mana siswa-siswi ada akses untuk menggunakannya bagi membantu pembelajaran mereka. Jadi soal pemilikan bukan satu perkara kriteria yang terpenting, tapi kebolehgunaan dan availability sepanjang mereka belajar. Kenapa tak bagi terus, kenapa pinjam. Sebenarnya bukan pinjam pun, memberikan hak kegunaan. Bukan pada satu peranti. Jadi kalau dia rosak peranti tenggelam, banjir dan sebagainya, dia boleh dapat lagi peranti yang lain. Kalau beri dapat satu itu saja kan. Dan kalau rosak, dia kena tanggung sendiri. Kali ini kalau rosak dan sebagainya, ada perkhidmatan susulan di bawah program ini.
Tan Sri Anwar also said consideration on letting the students to keep the device once they have completed their studies will be decided later. He added that a total of 27,000 applications under the program were received within 7 hours after it was opened. The minimum wage policy, which will take effect from the 1st of May, is expected to enliven Malaysia's economy sector. Human Resources Minister Datuk Sri S. Saravanan said some employers and industry players have agreed to the policy implementation. He added this was based on the current development of their company or respective sectors, apart from the demand for the entry of more than 500,000 foreign workers received by the ministry.
Dan hari ini saya lihat kalau ekonomi is no good, kenapa permintaan untuk 519,000 pekerja asing? You cannot play hot and cold. Kalau ekonomi tak baik, tak perlulah minta 519,000 pekerja. Walaupun 590,000 pekerja, kita masih menapis. Bukanlah kita dah lulus semua, tapi ini keadaan semasa.
It was reported that several industry players, including restaurant owners and manufacturing associations, had asked the government to give them time to adapt to the current situation before implementing the minimum wage policy. Currently, the government is working towards creating 600,000 job opportunities in the country. The Tapa MP was met after handing over Zakat Wakala to 18 mosques and 79 suraus in the Tapa parliamentary constituency yesterday. Johor Darul Takzim, or JDT, celebrated a goal galore, trouncing 8-time Super China champions Guangzhou FC 5-0 to open their AFC Champions League, or ACL, campaign this season in style in a Group I match at Sultan Ibrahim Stadium at Iskandar Putri last night. Now, the glorious win by Benjamin Mora's boys was a 90-minute action-packed display which saw Bergson da Silva scoring a hat-trick, apart from an own goal by goalkeeper Chen Jingfeng, while a goal by Muhammad Ramadan Saifullah Usman rounded up the mauling to give Johor a perfect start. JDT kicked off their AFC Champions League 2022 Group I campaign with an impressive 5-0 win over Guangzhou FC on Friday. Fresh from the 2-1 win over Terengganu FC in the Super League on Sunday, the Southern Tigers started aggressively and opened the score as early as the 10th minute from a header by Bergson from a cross by Shane Lowry. Now, 3 minutes later, Chen clumsily caught the ball from an attempt by Fernando Forestry, but it slipped from his hands to roll into the goal. Bergson ended the first half with a volley which defeated Chen again to put Johor 3-0 up in the 27th minute. In the second half, Bergson did not have to wait long to complete a hat-trick after finishing a cross pass from Lever Corbin Ong with a sharp header in the 52nd minute to widen the gap for JDT. Guangzhou FC continued to suffer when their defender Guan Hao Jin was sent off with a red card after a tackle on Bergson in the 69th minute. And JDT capitalised on the tempo to blast in their fifth goal via Mohammad Ramadan in the 81st minute. JDT are now at the top of Group I with 3 points, while Japan League champions Kawasaki Frontale and South Korean club Ulsan Hyundai shared a point, while Guangzhou FC is at the bottom of the table with no points. In the second match next Monday, JDT will be meeting Ulsan Hyundai at the same venue. In a post-match press conference, head coach Mora was satisfied of the success of the Southern Tigers in taking down the Chinese giants.
The commitment to our tactical strategy was to continue being JDT always. And the boys did a great job. They were committed over the 95 minutes. They didn't lose the tactical discipline. All together we're working as a team, as a collective.
This is my job. My job is give you everything for the team. It's not important only score, only goals, assistant. The more important is my team. Take the 3 points in the bag. Everyone.
This is JDT's third season participating in the AFC Champions League. Prior to the match, the Southern Tigers have won their last 5 matches in all competitions. And that's it from us this afternoon. In our top story, MOH to step up enforcement at Ramadan Bazaars. News at 10 comes on this evening on My Free Views Berita RTM news channel. I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for joining us.